Oh my goodness. If you thought that Jim Jones and Chrissy Lampkin's relationship was all love and hip-hop, get ready for this most recent drama has the internet in a frenzy. There are rumors that Jim Jones was recently caught in the midst of a startling public altercation with Chrissy Lampkin and Baby. According to eyewitnesses, things quickly escalated from 0 to 100. And let's just say that Jim's reputation is barely hanging on. It began with what appeared to be a straightforward dispute, but things took a bad turn. According to sources, Jim lost all control of the situation. Oh my goodness, what occurred next is worse than you may have imagined. Chrissy was left astonished, the crowd was in shock, and social media is in full meltdown mode as people want answers. Did Jim Jones actually do this? Go overboard this time? What set off his dramatic reaction? And most importantly, who is the enigmatic figure at the heart of all this drama? Fans are divided, celebrities are speaking out, and now that insiders are revealing information that could destroy Jim's career, grab some popcorn because this scandal is only beginning. All right, buckle up, because if you thought Jim Jones and, oh honey, you haven't seen anything yet, but Chrissy Lampkin's relationship was messy before. This latest scandal is so crazy that even hip-hop and love producers are definitely rushing to determine how they will cover it. So let's go back in time and determine how we got here, because the specifics are complex, Jim. It all began at a private gathering last Saturday night. When Jones and Chrissy Lampkin appeared together, holding hands and grinning, people were taken aback because, let's face it, Jim and Chrissy's relationship has not always been easy. For years, they had been engaged one moment, and then they are taking a break. Jim has been involved in money problems, suspicions of adultery, and some dubious business activities, but Chrissy has. According to witnesses, Jim and Chrissy were sitting in the VIP area of a fancy New York City club when things began, but this time, oh honey, Chrissy might have had enough. Jim had apparently been drinking a bit too much, which isn't particularly out of character for him. But this time, it impacted him in a different way. According to a source inside the club, Jim was all night long. He was behaving strangely, pacing back and forth, and seemed upset. Chrissy tried to calm him down repeatedly, but he refused, and then BM occurred. Jim allegedly received a text message, and when Chrissy bent over to ask him what was wrong, Jim became agitated. According to witnesses, he grabbed his phone away from Chrissy and began ranting at her. Tried to remain composed, since, as you are well aware, Chrissy dislikes creating a commotion, but Jim would not let it go. According to a second source sitting close by, Chrissy continued saying, "Calm down, Jim. I'm not here, but Jim." Was hot, he began pointing at her, and as his voice grew louder, those surrounding them began to notice that although the music was still playing, they could see people turning there. As they approached the VIP area, things truly got out of hand. According to one witness, Jim got up and walked directly into Chrissy's face, appearing to be ready to grab. Chrissy pushed him away, telling him not to do it, but Jim did it. Oh, honey. Jim allegedly grabbed Chrissy's arm and attempted to drag her out of the booth, but Chrissy jerked her away. The entire club halted when he yelled, "Let go of me and y'all," and a mystery man who was near to the pair moved in to separate them. According to reports, this mystery man has been a close friend of Jim's for years, but the way he intervened almost seemed to be an attempt to shield Chrissy more than Jim. A witness recounted the incident. Jim pushed him back, saying, "Calm down, Jim. You're doing too much." Security had to intervene at this point because Chrissy was trembling, her face was crimson, and it was obvious she was holding back to tears. Jim shoved the mystery man one last time and said, "You don't know what the F* you're talking about." And Chrissy, oh honey, she, as security pulled him out of the club, remained there, appearing shaken. According to one source, Chrissy sat down and put her head in her hands. People approached her to ask how she was feeling, but she remained silent and simply sat there. This is where things get even messier. According to people close to the situation, Jim's phone was exploding with texts, which is why he was so furious. From an unidentified lady who Chrissy has believed Jim has been having affairs with for months. Yes, there have been allegations of Jim cheating for years, but Chrissy has consistently supported Jim. Chrissy dismissed rumors that Jim was out in Miami with an unidentified woman, but this time she's seen the evidence herself, according to a source close to Chrissy. Text on Jim's phone, which is why he lost it. He knew he was caught, but instead of owning up to it, he reacted angrily. Social media, believe me, wasted no time in hopping on this. By the time after Jim and Chrissy left the club, video of the fight was already making the rounds on the internet. Someone inside the club took a video of the entire affair and uploaded it to TikTok with the caption, "Jim Jones ween out on Chrissy in the club. This man is finished," and the remarks were really nasty. Chrissy should leave him now. Jim is now out here, making Chrissy look foolish once more. At this point, Chrissy is playing herself if she remains with him, and the most absurd thing is that neither Chrissy nor Jim have mentioned the incident at all. Chrissy's tales are empty, and Jim's Instagram is mute. But you know that silence speaks. Louder than words. But this is where it gets even more interesting, since the unidentified man who defended Chrissy may not be merely a buddy, according to sources, has been with Chrissy for some time. And let's say that some are beginning to question whether Chrissy has moved on already. According to a source close to the pair, Chrissy and Jim have been dating Rocky for months. Jim is aware that Chrissy has been depending on him for emotional support, and the fact that he publicly reacted in such a way shows that he is afraid that Chrissy might be done with him for long. Now, the real issue is, what will happen next? From what I've heard, Chrissy isn't giving up this time. According to a source close to her, she's exhausted from "I've had enough of Jim." This might be the final straw. And Jim? Yeah, he's in damage control mode. Rumor has it that he's already contacted some of his industry contacts to attempt to hide the truth, but that video AG is already public, so there's no turning back from this one. The fallout from this scandal is going to rock the whole love world, I promise. And the hip-hop universe, because believe me, if Chrissy leaves permanently and the whispers about this mysterious man are accurate, Jim may lose everything, not just his relationship. Over because of what's about to happen next, honey. If you thought part 1 was messy, you're only getting started because of Jim Jones's catastrophic fallout. Oh my goodness, it's far worse than we anticipated. Fans are picking sides on the internet, and judging by Chrissy's current behavior, it appears that Jim may have just fumbled the bag. And the woman? So where did we leave off? Oh, security was dragging Jim out of the club after he attempted to pull Chrissy out of the booth in front of a crowded room. Oh, she was left sitting there feeling ashamed, shaky, and humiliated. But let's discuss what transpired next, because honey, that's where the real drama begins. So let's examine what we now know. Sources close to the couple, and I mean close, have attested that those texts were the reason Jim lost his temper. Not only Chrissy's response. Jim had been messaging an unidentified woman for months, according to a very reliable insider. This isn't just a casual side chick thing. We're having flirtatious, intimate talks, communications, and outright emotional infidelity, according to a source Chrissy had long suspected, although Jim consistently denied it. However, Chrissy noticed the messages when they appeared on his phone. We're exchanging late-night texts, like, "I miss you. When are you coming to see me?" And, "I don't have to know, excuse me." But the content of those messages was unpleasant, and she was seeing it with her own eyes. That's right. This is going to become a full-fledged industry. According to insiders, this mystery woman isn't just any random girl. She is apparently connected to someone else in the industry. Scandal. But the worst part is that Chrissy didn't even intend to discuss it. It seems that she was attempting to resolve the matter in secret. Jim's response, however, was what really blew this whole thing apart. Thing open, an insider close to Chrissy claimed that she was composed at first and was attempting to act adult, but when Jim began to yell and act irrationally, Chrissy realized he was guilty, and it turns out that this isn't the first time Jim has been linked to cheating allegations. You may recall back in 2019 when Jim was seen in Miami with the Instagram model, and when the video became viral on social media, Chrissy essentially warned everyone to shut up, saying, "This time she's not playing that game." The internet went crazy by the time the Twitter was already trending with hashtags like "Protect Chrissy" and "Jim Jones exposed after the video reached the blogs," and the harsh remarks Chrissy needed to leave him for good. "This time Jim is Chrissy. You should accept him for what he is worth." The celebs, yeah, they started weighing in 2 Cardi B hops. "It's embarrassing how you disrespect the woman who held you down like this, Tamar Braxton added. "Chrissy is better than me because I would have handled that situation very differently." "Man," she wrote on Twitter, "some of you really don't deserve the women you got." Remy Ma, who often avoids this kind of drama, liked a tweet that claimed that Jim has been acting odd for years and that Chrissy deserves better, but the comments continued coming. Fans quickly began looking into Jim's social media activities because, well, social media detectives never sleep. And let's just say that Jim hasn't exactly been acting. For example, a screenshot of a devoted man showing Jim liking and commenting on a particular woman's photos appeared. You guessed it, the same woman who is said to have sent those messages. What else did they discover? One fan sent screenshots of a recent direct message interaction in which Jim flirted with her, calling her attractive and using heart-eye emoticons as if he wasn't already engaged. I noted that Jim had been moving carelessly. Chrissy had just caught him, and Jim, oh, honey, isn't helping himself because he hopped on instead of keeping quiet and letting the heat subside. We don't know Jim, so please pardon me for posting this cryptic comment on Instagram, but the true shock occurred when the unidentified man who broke up the fight spoke. You all recall how we discussed the man that intervened between Jim and Chrissy? Well, it turns out that he knows a lot more than he claims, as sources claim that the unidentified man has been close to. He has been witnessing Jim's treatment of Chrissy behind the scenes for years, and based on what I've heard, he's fed up. According to an insider, the mystery man has been telling Chrissy for Jim has been warning her for years that he isn't the proper person for her, but Chrissy wasn't prepared to hear it. Now, it appears that he may be doing more action than one, because following the event, according to one source close to the situation, the mysterious man said, "Chrissy, you don't deserve this, you deserve better." Chrissy's subsequent expression said, "Oh honey, there's definitely something there." According to the circumstances, Chrissy doesn't tend to switch relationships easily, but there is a connection between her and this person, and Jim isn't happy about it, according to sources. After the event, he confronted the mystery man, and things became hot. According to an insider, Jim warned him to back off when he replied, "That's my woman." The mystery man responded, "Then act like it's a few." So the question, according to what I've heard, Chrissy is finally beginning to pay attention to those around her. And the fact that this unidentified man filled in for Jim when he was acting out could have been the wake-up call she needed, and Jim is in a downward spiral. He has been spotted drinking in New York, looking unkempt and miserable, and he has been phoning Chrissy, constantly attempting to apologize, but Chrissy, oh honey, is not answering. And the wildest rumor on the street is that, if I'm not mistaken, Chrissy has already been speaking with her lawyer and baby. Since Chrissy's name appears on some of Jim's business deals, including the property they live in, it's possible that he won't only lose Chrissy, but also his money if she leaves. Jim may not have any place to go, honey, but here's the thing. Chrissy hasn't said anything yet. Her social media silence speaks more than anything she could say. However, the fact that she is already speaking with her attorney indicates that things are not looking good for Jim, and the fallout from this is going to grow considerably worse if Chrissy files for legal action. Action, and if the unidentified woman comes forward, Jim's image and career could be permanently destroyed. Trust me, you're not prepared for what's going to happen next, so stay locked in because if you thought part 2 was weird, Wait till you hear what occurred next, because Part 3, baby, is about to go nuclear. The fallout from Jim Jones. Outburst is spiraling out of control, and the damage is worse than anybody could have imagined. Jim's reputation, profession, and his relationship are all on the verge of collapse. And Chrissy's current behavior is so sweet. Where did we leave off? Well, Jim was in a downward spiral after being exposed for those shady texts and that public altercation. Let's assume that Jim eventually pushed her too far. The mysterious man had previously intervened to keep Chrissy and Jim safe when she was in the club, but he did not take it well. Let's discuss what transpired next, because, believe me, it's messier than you think. Apparently, Jim wasn't simply going to leave the club peacefully after that incident. Oh no, he was furious. Rumor has it that Jim fled the club right after, and proceeded directly to a nearby hotel. But he wasn't by himself, since a reliable insider revealed that Jim had gone with someone, not Chrissy. And let's just say that they weren't exactly attempting to excuse me, but several reports claim that Jim left the club with a woman who appeared to be the same girl he had been texting. I'm not claiming that this was the case, but Chrissy wasn't even out when Jim departed holding hands with the mysterious woman. But the receipts are mounting up, according to a source familiar with the matter. Jim had already left the club and was on his way, but guess what? Someone had captured it on video. By the next morning, pictures of Jim leaving the hotel with this unidentified woman were everywhere. One fan shared a picture on social media with the message, "Jim couldn't even wait 24 hours before embarrassing Chrissy again." The shade room in Hollywood was unlocked, and everyone had the story. And the comments, oh honey, they were nasty. Jim has been disparaging Chrissy. Chrissy deserves more, and Jim isn't even attempting to conceal it anymore. How are you going to cheat and then possess the audacity to be caught? And just when you thought things couldn't get any worse, they did. Because guess what? The mysterious woman went live on Instagram, drinking a glass of wine and appearing quite unconcerned. When comments began to pour in, questioning whether she was the only guy left, she smirked and replied, "You guys need to mind." Excuse me, but you're telling me that this woman knows Jim was out here insulting Chrissy and she's just laughing about it? Your business? I'm not the one who took vows. That's his problem. The arrogance in Jim, he made it worse by posting a picture of himself on Instagram the next day with the comment, "This is what it is," rather than retracting it or offering an apology. Chrissy must have seen my phone when I nearly tossed it across the room, because a few hours later, she wrote a mysterious remark on her Instagram story that read, "When someone reveals their identity to you, so trust them the first time." But it didn't end there, because the mystery man, he wasn't going to sit back and let Jim get away with this source. Following Jim's small act, Chrissy said, the mystery man called her and assured her she didn't have to cope with this any longer. Apparently, Chrissy listened, because guess what she did? Next, she proceeded to see her lawyer. Yes, Chrissy was seen outside the office of a well-known lawyer in New York City, and this isn't just any lawyer either. According to one source, one of the most vicious divorce lawyers in the industry, Chrissy isn't playing games anymore. She's been keeping Jim down for years, but this time she's done. And the rumors are, insiders claim that Chrissy is going crazy and intends to take everything with her, as her name is on some of Jim's most valuable possessions, including the house and company's endorsement agreements. And if Chrissy files for divorce, Jim would lose everything. Insider revealed that Chrissy supported him while he was in dire straits, and now that he's built anything, she's entitled to half of it. And Jim, he knows he made a mistake, apparently began blowing up Chrissy's phone, a source after learning that she had met with her lawyer. Jim has been phoning and messaging Chrissy nonstop, leaving voicemails, and even showing up at her apartment, but Chrissy wouldn't open the door. The craziest aspect is that Jim even went to Mama Jones. Indeed, Jim's mother called Chrissy to try to persuade her to speak with Chrissy. According to one source, Chrissy told her, "I love you, but I can't keep it up." All these things, and the internet, honey, is Team Chrissy. Chrissy deserves more since she held Jim down when no one else did, and this is how he pays her back. Chrissy, you should take him for Nicki Minaj commented on a post regarding Chrissy's loyalty, Jim's self-centered behavior, and guess who else got in? Remy Ma posted on her, everything is happening, and celebs are speaking out too. Instagram, story, don't toy with a woman who has always held you back. However, Jim isn't only dealing with personal criticism. His job is already taking a toll. Rumor has it that Jim was negotiating a new reality TV deal with a big network, but the deal was put on hold following the scandal. According to a source close to the network, they don't want the backlash. Jim's business is declining, and it appears that one of his major problems is that his name is currently too messy and advertising are already leaving. An insider revealed that the company doesn't want to be linked to this type of scandal and is thinking about terminating the endorsement deals, including a sneaker deal for over 6 figures. Contract. Therefore, the question now is how Jim will recover from this, as Chrissy currently has all the authority, has the receipts, and has the backing of the public, the legal edge, and if Chrissy chooses to pursue this all the way to court, Jim may lose not only his relationship, but also his job, his finances, and everything. Image, and the most absurd thing, is that Chrissy hasn't even spoken yet. According to a source close to Chrissy, she's letting Jim hang himself at the moment because she knows that whatever he says will only make him appear worse. And Jim, he's still acting carelessly. Jim was seen last night at another club looking messy and inebriated, and you know who he was with that same mystery lady. So the question now isn't if Chrissy will leave him, but rather how much Jim would regret it if she does. And when Chrissy does, honey, it's the only issue now is whether Jim Jones will survive this fallout or if this is the beginning of the end for him and Chrissy. Trust me, you already know that I'll be back with everything. The updates because, well, this story is far from finished. The question now is, after years of supporting and defending him, is this really the end for Jim and Chrissy? Is Chrissy leaving for good? And if so, what will happen to Jim? Because, let's face it, Jim's career and image might not last this one without Chrissy. But the truth is, Chris isn't saying anything at the moment, honey. Her silence speaks louder than anything she could say. If Chrissy leaves and files those lawsuits, Jim might not simply lose his relationship. He could lose his money, his home, and his reputation in the field, and the fact that he's still acting carelessly while holding the unidentified woman on his arm, baby, makes it seem as like he's attempting to self-destruction and the admirers, who have already chosen to support Chrissy on social media. And if she makes the decision to sue Jim, you know everyone will be observing. But what are you certain that the mystery man is merely a friend? Or is that story incomplete? The question now is, what is her next course of action is to remain silent? And did she allow Jim to sink his own ship? Ready to execute a maneuver of power that will get rid of him for good by dropping your team's opinions are expressed in the comments. Team Jim or Chrissy should Chrissy? Is it time for her to forgive Jim or leave now and don't turn around? Let me understand your thoughts because, sweetie, this remember that drama is far from ended. To click like and subscribe. Because I promise you that the following chapter will of this tale falls, my dear. You're wishing to be the first to find out. Keep checking back because this is the only beginning.